The Third Age of Middle-earth was a time of fading glory and quiet decay. After the last alliance defeated Sauron at the end of the Second Age, the world entered an era known as the Watchful Peace. It lasted for nearly 4 centuries, and at first glance it seemed as though evil had finally been vanquished. The Dark Lord was gone, his armies destroyed, and his servants scattered. Gondor stood proud in the south, and Arnor in the north still carried the legacy of Númenor. But beneath this calm surface, shadows slowly began to stir. Before we dive deeper into this hidden struggle, make sure to subscribe to the channel. By joining us, you won't miss the next great chapters of Middle-earth's history, battles, betrayals, and the rise of dark powers. Now, let us return to the Watchful Peace. During this period, Gondor reached the height of its power. Its borders stretched wide, guarded by strong fortresses and mighty fleets. Kings ruled from Osgiliath, where the White Tree stood tall, and the Palantiri, those seeing stones of Númenorian craft, were still in use. In Minas Anor, later to be called Minas Tirith, the people flourished under strong leadership. The White Tower gleamed in the sun, a symbol of Gondor's enduring might. In the north, Arnor too held promise. Yet unlike Gondor, Arnor was weakened by division and rivalry. 3 realms, Arthedain, Cardolan, and Rhudaur, would eventually rise from its fractured heart. Though once united, Arnor lacked the strength of its southern kin, and these divisions would prove fatal in the centuries to come. The elves, though diminished since the fall of Gil-galad, remained vigilant. Elrond in Rivendell preserved lore and memory, watching the world with patient wisdom. In Lothlorien, Galadriel and Celeborn maintained their hidden realm, shielding it from growing darkness. And in Lindon, Saarden the shipwright kept faith with the West, his eyes always turned toward the sea. Though they rarely acted openly, the elves were not blind to the gathering of shadows. The dwarves, too, thrived for a time. In Khazad-dûm, the halls of Moria rang once more with the sound of hammers and song. Mithril, that precious silver steel, was mined in abundance. And their trade brought wealth and power to Durin's folk. But even here, danger lingered deep beneath the mountains, waiting for its time. And while the great kingdoms basked in peace, other forces were already on the move. In the east, whispers spread of dark cults and shadowed leaders. In the south, Harad and Umbar plotted in secret, ever hostile to Gondor. But most disturbing of all was the rise of a mysterious figure in the forest of Greenwood. Known as the Necromancer, he built a stronghold in Dol Guldur, hidden from the eyes of many. Few realized at first that this was Sauron himself, slowly regaining his strength. This is a perfect moment to remind you once again, if you are enjoying this deep dive into Middle-earth, consider subscribing now. Every subscription helps this channel grow, and it ensures that more stories of the Third Age and beyond can be told in full detail. Now, let us continue with the unfolding tale. While Sauron remained in hiding, he sent forth his servants, seeking knowledge of the rings of power. The Nazgûl were silent during the Watchful Peace, biding their time, but their master was far from idle. He tested the strength of the wise and sought ways to divide the free peoples. The Valar themselves did not intervene directly, leaving the guardianship of Middle-earth to men, elves, and wizards. It was during this age that the Istari first appeared. 5 wizards sent from the west arrived in Middle-earth to guide and counsel against the shadow. Among them were Saruman the White, wise yet prideful, Gandalf the Grey, humble but perceptive, and Radagast the Brown, more at ease with birds and beasts than with men or kings. Their task was not to dominate, but to assist, to strengthen the free peoples against the darkness that was yet to come. Thus, the Watchful Peace was not as peaceful as it seemed. Though kingdoms flourished and lives were lived in relative calm, the great story of the Third Age was already being written in secret. The seeds of future wars were sown: the rise of Angmar in the north, the slow decay of Gondor's strength, and the return of Sauron under a hidden guise. The Watchful Peace was the calm before the storm. For soon the world would face centuries of war, ruin, and heroism. And though the shadows grew, so too did the hope carried by those who resisted, keeping alive the memory of the West and the dream of freedom in Middle-earth.